From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
To mask or not to mask? Tonight, a look across Billings and Yellowstone County to find out where you do and don't have to wear a mask as Montana's governor allows the statewide mask mandate to expire. But first, this is a live look outside from the Stockman Bank weather cam as Montana remains in the freezer tonight with temperatures in Billings falling lower than we've seen in 7 years. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us on your Friday night. I'm Jeanelle Slade. Well, another miserably cold day. So with that, we are going to hand things off right away to Q2 Chief Meteorologist Ed McIntosh in the Weather Center. And Ed, you have some records to report.
I do. I'm still working on that miserable part. Let's turn to Ed. But let's go ahead and take a look and see what happened this morning. 20 below in Billings, just 2 degrees shy of setting a record, but Miles City easily eclipsing your old record at 31 below this morning. Check out Great Falls and Lewistown. Lewistown, a record that goes back to 1905, tumbled this morning. But you also were sending in pictures and letting us know about the chill. Rick sent this one in from around the Roundup area. We really had some cold readings there. You see that one at minus 49. Here, 35 below from Anita over towards White Sulphur Springs, and another one up into the Bull Mountains around the the Roundup area. And you can see minus 40 on the thermometer. Everybody wise enough to have those thermometers you can read easily indoors. Back with a weekend forecast in a few minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Ed. Well, now on to our other top story tonight. As Montana's mask mandate expires today, a mixed bag of reaction for city and county government and private businesses. Wednesday, Governor Greg Gianforte pointed to the continued drop in active COVID-19 cases statewide. Local jurisdictions may choose to continue their own mask mandates. Also, businesses and other establishments still have the right to require masks for customers and visitors. Well, today, MTN's Jordan Johnson caught up with Gianforte at a vaccination clinic in Kalispell.
This is fantastic to see a community come together like this. Every shot that goes in an arm makes the light at the end of the tunnel brighter for all of us to come out of this difficult period.
Montana Governor Greg Gianforte visited the Flathead County Fairgrounds on Friday to see the vaccination clinic taking place, giving 1,000 vaccinations to those in Tier 1B. But starting on Friday, the statewide mask mandate put into place by previous Governor Steve Bullock is no longer in effect. The governor lifted the mandatory mask mandate after signing a new bill that protects businesses and healthcare providers from coronavirus-related lawsuits as long as they are taking reasonable measures based on public health guidance about COVID.
I've said all along, I believe in personal responsibility as opposed to government mandates. Businesses still need to make reasonable precautions to protect both their staff and their customers. We encourage them to follow the CDC guidelines, but not every part of the state is the same.
Still, Governor Gianforte says he supports local health departments' decisions to continue the use of masks.
Well, the local health departments have the authority to implement policies that are appropriate for the community, and they have to look at the facts on the ground here to make the best decision for the community.
Although the governor lifted the mask mandate, he still wears one to protect himself and others around him. He encourages Montanans to do the same.
Montanans don't like wearing masks. I choose to wear a mask because it protects myself and the people around. I encourage other Montanans to do the same.
The governor also stated that the light at the end of the tunnel he believes is coming.
We need to work through this together, and I know Montanans are resilient and our best days are ahead of us.
Governor Gianforte also traveled to the Polson vaccination clinic at the Quatucknut Casino. In Kalispell, Jordan Johnson, MTN News.
Thanks, Jordan. Now, the state's top medical officer, Dr. Greg Holzman, who's often been the face of the state's COVID-19 response and policy, is resigning. Holzman submitted his resignation letter yesterday, one day before Gianforte lifted the statewide face mask mandate. Holzman often appeared beside the previous governor, Democrat Steve Bullock, during the public briefings last year on COVID-19. Now, he was a big booster of wearing masks to slow the spread of the virus, although he also knew it was difficult to enforce the measure. Public Health and Human Services Director Adam Meyer said in a statement today that Holzman did an incredible job. Holzman said he will stay on the job until April 16th. As Montana's statewide mask mandate disappears, Yellowstone County reports 2 new COVID-19 related deaths. One of those deaths, a man in his 50s, died yesterday, while the other death came in January. The countywide death toll now stands at 230, while the state's total is 1,339. Now, active cases remain under 3,000 tonight, while well over 93,000 Montanans have recovered. Well, the lifting of the mask mandate is another step closer for many Montana businesses to return to normal, and that is bringing with it some optimism about what could be ahead for the rest of the year. Individual businesses in Yellowstone County can still require the masks, but it's up to each establishment. Montana Retail Association says confidence is coming back. People are feeling more comfortable about being out, and he's expecting a strong comeback for restaurants and other retail businesses.
So business is definitely starting to come back. And once we get past this Arctic blast that's blowing through here, I think we'll see people really come out. So combination of our positive progress on the vaccination program, if Congress passes another stimulus program, that's going to put a lot of money out into the economy again. So I'm very optimistic for this year. I think it's going to just come roaring back. This summer, I think it's just going to be crazy.
And Griffin says he expects another round of money specifically for restaurants in the next stimulus package to help businesses get by until summer. He says the best stimulus, though, will be consumers getting back out and spending their money. Well, the end of the mask mandate is already changing the look of local gyms. Yellowstone Fitness has taken down the mask requirement signs. Masks were needed when entering, but can be taken off when working out. Now, the gym's owner says sanitation is a big part of the gym routine, and the members still have the opportunity to distance.
As long as we're staying clean and doing all we can, I don't think the mandate the way it was before, the way it is now, I don't think it's going to make any difference. Not in this facility. I think it's kind of crazy. Like if it was some other business, I understand keeping the mask on. But when you get to take them off anyway, why even wear them in the front door? We haven't had any bout breaks. Nobody's ever said they got it here. It's a healthy environment, and we're trying to keep it that way. I took the sign down, and I'm just going to let people do what they feel like they're comfortable with.
And another gym will make some different changes. The YMCA will also no longer have masks, but it is highly encouraging those masks. Masks will still be required for the youth after school program for the YMCA and for the YMCA staff. Well, so to give you a head start, we checked in across Billings to find out what you need to know about masks. And the big takeaway? Always have one on hand. We begin with the county, where the Board of County Commissioners is leaving the discretion up to department heads and elected officials. Now, that means each county government office will come up with its own protocol. The county commissioners do, however, strongly urge continued use of social distancing. However, when it comes to county courtrooms, judges, personnel, and visitors must still wear a mask. That means you must wear a mask on floors 4, 5, and 6 of the Yellowstone County Courthouse. Montana Supreme Court Justice Mike McGrath issued that order in late December. And at the Metro Park, Ray Massey says employees are now waiting word from the county's legal department about requiring masks for future events. But as of this morning, all Metro staff will continue to mask up. And City Administrator Chris Kukulski tells us the airport and Met Transit are federally funded, so a mask mandate remains in effect in those areas. Now, also, masks are still required at the Billings Public Library. As for city workspaces, no masks are required, but social distancing is still encouraged inside common areas. Now, some employees may be asked to wear masks during meetings, but that is up to the individual group. And as for shopping, if you head to Costco, make sure you have your mask and you're wearing it correctly. The Costco corporate mandate remains in effect, and you may not enter without one. Across King Avenue, things are changing up at Walmart. As of today, employees must continue to wear masks for their safety. But if you're heading in to shop, it's your choice to go with or without a mask. And at Target in Billings, the current policy will not change. The corporate Target policy is that all employees wear masks. If guests do not have a mask when they walk in, they will be asked if they would like a free one. If you choose to not wear a mask, Target representatives will suggest non-contact shopping options. But in the end, Target does not require that you wear a mask. And quite a mix of mandates and decisions across Montana counties. Like Yellowstone County, Cascade, Carbon, Stillwater, Dawson, Fergus, and Blaine counties will move forward with no mandate, as will Golden Valley, Judith Basin, Muscle Shell, Wheatland, Jefferson, and Petroleum counties. However, Bighorn and Park counties will keep their mask mandates, as will many of the larger counties across Montana, such as Gallatin, Missoula, Butte-Silverbow, and Lewis and Clark. And again, it's important to note that schools and businesses in areas without a mandate can still implement their own policies. And as School District 2 Superintendent Greg Upham has been telling us, a mask mandate will remain in effect across all Billings public schools. Mask mandates will also remain in effect on several of Montana's Native American reservations. And before we hit the break, we want to thank all of our viewers who took part in the two-day Billings Clinic Kids Radiothon. The total amount raised close to $52,000. Now that money raised all goes to Kelker's Kids Funds that assists families financially with a child facing serious illness. Up next on tonight's MTN 5:30 News on Q2, the light at the end of the pandemic tunnel got a little bit brighter today as a local hospital delivers dose number 10,000 this morning. And in sports, a future Montana Tech football player is now doing some heavy lifting on the mats. We'll meet him in just a bit.